you go around saying that you need a man with money, that means you're broke. Like, it don't make sense, right? If you're looking for somebody with money, it means that you broke. That's man or a woman. Don't say that.
No,
If
I
a
didn't
man,
say that, love.
can I finish? Don't say a man is broke because he won't date a woman with that. Don't say a man is broke because he won't date a woman that's broke. But then turn around and say you're not going to date a man that's broke.
Thank
You know
you.
what I'm
That's
saying?
all I was saying.
It's a double
That's
standard,
all I
bro.
was
Y'all's
saying.
You pointed
listening
Thank you.
that out.
skills are
It's a
not
That's
double
all I
here.
was
standard.
saying.
You
That was
pointed
my
I
that
point.
out,
didn't say
brother.
that. I
But that's all.
actually said a rich man is not going to be worried about what the woman is bringing to him because he's already secured. And if he's that rich and if he's that
Exactly.
wealthy, he's
So
not
if a
worried
woman,
about the finances. That's what I said.
if a
That mean a
woman
rich
is
woman
well
ain't gonna care
established,
either.
if a woman is well established, she ain't gonna worry about what a man brings to the table either, because
But
she's
she's
well
not stupid
established.
enough to just not
Not
give
Diamond,
a man that's
exactly.
equal
But
to
you
So
her.
we
want,
gotta
but
be
you want
you
a man to
making
be
this a
stupid
gender
enough.
You want
battle.
us to be
You
stupid
making
enough,
this
Let
a
me
right?
tell this
gender
story
battle.
about
Not
the
to worry
grateful man and
about
the
what a
ungrateful
woman
man.
bringing to the table.
What
Let me
y'all
tell
don't
this story about the
understand,
grateful man
what
and the
y'all want it
ungrateful
to
man.
be, what y'all don't
This is sum
understand
this
is
shit
it's
up, man,
not
and
equal.
everybody ponder on this shit after that.
It's not
I'm about to
equal,
make this
y'all.
shit. I'm about
It's
to make
not
this shit
equal.
brief. I'm about to run this shit down real quick, man.
Bro, he
Y'all better.
crashing out.
1 second, y'all. 1 second. By all means necessary. How you doing, baby?
I'm well, sister, and yourself.
Um, so question. Would you date a woman that works at McDonald's?
I would, sister,
Okay, and tell me why.
because as a descendant of enslaved people, I don't place value monetarily on somebody's value to my life. That is what the oppressor has done, and what I've heard, I appreciate what sisters Bonnie wants for her life. We have to understand something, black men. You know, for decades, brothers, we have told these sisters that their standards are in the mud, that they need to raise their standards and stop choosing Negroes that would cause harm and disrespect and disgrace and cause them to be single mothers. We told them to choose better and raise their standards so that they didn't end up in these situations where we can blame them for raising piss poor Negroes. So in response to that, black men, they raised their standards, and then now we are complaining about the standards in which we told them to raise. So in many ways,
They
we are
raise the
hypocrites.
standards when it
Let me
comes to
finish,
money,
brother.
though.
Let me finish, brother, please.
He sound like he with the
Let me
nation of
finish,
He's
Islam.
saying
brother.
they raise the
Hold on,
standards,
y'all.
but
Wait
that's
one
only
Brother,
second.
financial. What he
let me
talking
Hold
finish,
about?
on.
brother.
Yo, y'all gotta
Was
let
with
him
him at
talk. Yo, y'all
first.
gotta let him
Brother,
talk, bro.
Hold on,
Let him
y'all.
brother.
talk.
Wait 1 second. Let's hear him out. Go ahead, by all means.
Thank you, brother. One of the main reasons, brothers, that a lot of us are incarcerated is not for the actual crime, right? It is actually for the fact that we were not able to control our emotions as we were getting ready to commit the crime. That's why a lot of us are crashing out right now, as opposed to being calm and collected and just responding in a way that shows that you have the character in which you speak on. I don't need to start telling a sister she's a streetwalker. I don't need to start disrespecting a sister because she says something that I fundamentally disagree with. The white man tells you every day that you are quick and a criminal, yet he walking around free as a bird. Ain't nobody knocking him upside the head, calling him not a damn name. But the moment a black woman says something, we just crashing out. She all kind of hoes and sluts and everything else. See, this is because we can't control our emotions when we confronted with something that we don't believe applies to us. And that's okay. She's entitled to feel how she feels. All I'm saying is, as black men collectively, not independently, brother, because it may not apply to any brother on this platform, but collectively, we have told black women for decades to raise their standards. And then we cannot collectively tell them what the hell those standards must be raised to. If she says financial, then brother, we can't complain. We told them to get their standards to a higher level than they had currently existed at. We cannot bust a U-turn and then dictate to those sisters how and what those standards have been raised to. We have become hypocrites. Because at the end of the day, brother, if I tell anybody to raise their standards, sometimes the standards that she raised does not include my black ass because I told her to raise it, right? If I wanted her to continue to have lower standards, then maybe I would have some room in her life. But if I tell her to raise those standards and she chose to raise them, And hold on, and raising that standard, remove my income. Think about what I'm saying. We told her to raise her standard. And in that standard, it removed me as an option. How the hell can I blame her for something I told her to do? We hypocrites.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you changed it because at first you said fine. That's why I asked you, because I don't understand if raising your standards, that means pick better morals and things of that nature. But you said raise her standards financially. Now you going back correcting it some and saying, well, whatever she raising her standards, whatever that is to her perspective. I can understand that, but just to say raise your standards and get somebody financial, that don't equate to that, because like you said, the white man gave us the ideal of value is based on money. So you had me in the beginning, but then you lost me in the end.
But see, he sounds like one of those guys with the Nation of Islam. They don't believe a woman can do no fucking wrong.
That is not what the nation. First of all, I'm a Christian, and that's not what the Nation of Islam believes, brother. But I understand why you think so. So because we share a dick, I'm supposed to get up here and agree with everything that came out.
No, she sat up here and said us having standards, a man having standards,
that's what you just said.
is basically we're broke because we want to have standards now. Well, I'm gonna apply the same logic you just had.
That's not what she said, brother. That's
what she said.
Honey, you are twisting words and receiving information so inaccurately.
Listen, hold on. He said he doesn't want to date a woman that works at McDonald's. Bab said this. I said that. I don't want to date a woman that works at McDonald's. She called us broke.
Brother, that is not what she said, brother.
No, that was before you got up her.
No, brother. I was actually listening before I came up.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what she said, though.
Brother, but
She didn't say it word for word verbatim, but she insinuated that a rich man wouldn't worry about
are lacking in the male community.
So it goes to say that is what she said.
Y'all
a rich
don't
man
have
wouldn't be
comprehension
worried.
What I heard her
skills,
say.
and words have meaning, and words have definitions. So you can't.
Have meaning.
Hold on. Let me get in
You
there.
apply a person with money.
No.
You apply a person with money.
It was
To not worry about
Let's
the
be
next
realistic.
person's financial.
It was not implied, brother.
You implied
It
it.
was implied because Diamond asked her a question about Babs not wanting to date a woman from McDonald's. So it was applied. Diamond even took it that way. So don't
I had to reiterate the thing for her, Chloe, and say, Diamond, that's what she's telling you.
Okay, brother.
A
But
person with money is not worried about what a man with. She said a man with money is not worried about what a woman has.
Correct.
But a woman with money should not deal with a man that's broke.
That'd be stupid.
Both things apply to what she said. She said a man with money should not worry about what a woman has.
And that's why she got that reaction
I
out of
said
me.
most men with money don't have.
That's why she got that reaction out of me. I just didn't come up here disrespecting and calling her
You're
S-workers for
disrespectful.
nothing.
You know you're a punk regardless because you didn't like it.
I didn't say that for nothing.
Attack that's inaccurate as fuck. Talking about
But when she started calling
know about
calling
picks
us,
unless you
about
want
this,
I guarantee you're paying sex workers.
Chill, bro. How about this? How about just let her re-explain herself so everybody can just get where she's coming from?
So
how about just do that?
Can I add something? You say if a man would date a woman that works at McDonald's, I'm gonna ask you, would you rather have somebody just sit on the fucking couch? You know, at least she got a legit job, right? She's bringing in income, and she's adding to the household. So, you know, it doesn't matter where you work, because you look back and just go through your history. I would challenge each of you to go to your history and look at what your grandmothers, our mothers, like, y'all, we done came too far. We have come too far to go back. And we arguing on bullshit. Because today the world is crazy. So I don't give a damn if you working at McDonald's. I don't give a damn where you're working. As long as you're working and trying to add to the household, that's what you should be considered about. Not like, oh, my wife is not working at McDonald's. No, I don't give a fuck. I know mine. Mine has a full-time job and she Uber. At first it bothered me, but I don't give a fuck. Like, if you're bringing something to the table, let it come to the table and stop this shit.
Because, may I add something, sister? Host?
Yeah, you can.
Host, if I may. I think, first of all, brothers, I'm not your enemy just because we disagree, brothers. We are supposed to be disagreeable, and still be friendly. What I'm saying is that I understand brothers that think that I sound like I'm from the Nation of Islam because I speak articulately and I'm not screaming, yelling, or calling her every bitch I can think of. And it makes me seem like a simp and a panderer. I'm fine with those labels. The truth of the matter is, as a black man, I honor the woman which I came from, and I don't feel no need or any need to disrespect any sister that I disagree with. She can call me everything but my first name. But I think one of the problems, brothers, is that we need to start maybe changing the labels in which we assign to ourselves. I've heard more brothers describe themselves as kings, but then complain about everybody in the kingdom. If you a king,
whoa, speak.
Let me get him another follow.
If you are a king, brother, then you don't concern yourself with what the joker or the maid is doing down in the kingdom. If you are a leader, you don't need to concern yourself with having a compatible leader, because if that's the case, then we don't need then what we are looking for is somebody not as a helpmate, because I think we've distorted biblically what the wife's role is. We are equally supposed to submit to each other. And if you ever have to, in my humble opinion, if you ever have to even use the word submission in a conversation, you are not the king you thought you were.
Oh,
if it ever has to come up in a conversation,
like how did you get?
Man, come on, man.
Here we go with the Bible conversation.
Going on with this shit,
Regular
man.
old Bible conversation.
No emotional regulation.
Get out of here with this shit. Man, you up here pandering, brother. You up here pandering.
Calm down, brother.
No. I want
He up here just pandering. Get out of here with this shit.
He's pandering. Let him speak. I want to hear him.
He up here sweet talking.
It's okay, y'all. Please listen, gentlemen.
No emotional regulation.
Gentlemen, please. I want to hear what he has to say. Let me hear him, please. I followed him twice. Go ahead, by all means.
I mean, you silly.
I would hope brothers save that energy for your oppressor when you standing in front of him and not me. Look, at the end of the day, brother, it's okay, brother. It's okay. All right. Look, at the end of the day, brothers, again, I'll repeat myself for anybody that needs to come off of mute and start screaming at me. It's okay for us to disagree with each other, brother. I have yet to call any black man on this panel anything outside of their name. It's okay for you to disagree with me, brother. It's okay for us to see the same black woman in two different perspectives. It's okay, brother, for me to look at your mother one way and you look at her another way based on your experience. I shouldn't have to share your ideology, brother, because we share a common skin tone. I shouldn't have to sound or speak or think like you, black man, because you have your own lived experiences. I have mine, brother. And mine comes from a place, listen, and check this out, right? I wasn't raised by either parent. Right? I've never been incarcerated. I've never sold a drug or anything destructive to my people. I've never impregnated a sister and not have her be my wife. I've never raised children, right, from afar. I've never paid $1 in child support. My children have always stayed with me from birth till graduation. Okay? So I speak from a position of understanding and authority. I don't speak out of a book that has yet to be written, brother. I have wrote every single word that I speak. And I understand you don't agree with me, brother. I'm a simp and a panderer, but what you forgot to say is I'm a super simp. Okay? And basically what simp means is I am simply informing my people. And that's okay, brother. You can call me every simp you can think of. What I'm saying is, brother, is that we got to stop giving ourselves titles in which we don't have the responsibility of ever living up to. I should not be considered a king if all I do is complain about everybody else's role in the kingdom.
This is why people don't go to church no more. This is why black men stop going to church.
Hold on.
Because we're tired of hearing
You being kind of long.
This is why men don't go to